Hello, my good friends, and today I finally want to talk about something I've been really excited about, actually, ever since E3 with Nintendo's. I think this was the best E3 they had this year, and I know how really late I am talking about this, but yeah, I really think that this is going to be the next golden age for the Mario series. It's the best I've seen in a long while. Super Mario Odyssey looks like it's gonna top even Mario 64. You get to possess enemies with your hat. It looks like the most exploration-based game. It is beautiful, it is so gorgeous. And one thing I might have a slight complaint about, this is not a big complaint at all, by the way, but the Broodals look like they're take way too much design inspiration from the Koopalings, but that's not a problem, a big problem anyway. I mean, it's something that could be a problem, but not a huge problem at all. And that's not to mention that Mario Odyssey has already, we're getting so many little subliminal messages that this might be a bigger story than they've shown so far. The moon, it appears in every stage. And there's already like theory videos and stuff talking about this, so I'm not going to go into detail, but I really think this is going to be the most storied main Mario game that there's ever been. And that's just really exciting for me because they're finally getting out of this rut. They're finally getting out of being so protective over the Mario franchise that it always has to be green grasslands, going into the lava-filled castle and saving the princess from Bowser, who just roars. They're finally getting out of this, and I love it. Not to mention, even with the 3DS, I don't think the 3DS is going to be relevant much longer, with the Switch also being handheld and console at the same time, but you can take it anywhere, so I don't see the appeal of the 3DS anymore, but at least they're letting it go on a high note. They're releasing what I consider to still be the best Mario and Luigi game on the 3DS, updated graphics, 60 FPS, it's not 3D, which is a slight bummer, but it's such a beautiful remaster of Superstar Saga, and freaking Fawful! This is the best showing they've had for Mario games, and even without Mario games, I'm not big on the other franchises besides Mario, but I am. How many people, like on GameFAQs and stuff, have been begging for a new Metroid game that actually looks good, and now they're actually doing not one, but two. One of them didn't have any footage, but look at how much they're giving the fan bases what they want. Now, I don't have that much hope that this is gonna lead to anything for Paper Mario, but that's not the main Nintendo team's doing, that's Mr. Tanabe, and I'm not gonna get into that, but as far as Mario games go, like not Paper Mario, but just the Mario series in general, I think Mario is highly likely to be entering a new golden age. And I'm just excited. Now we also have the Mario and Rabbids game on the Switch that's coming out this month, I think. And at first I wasn't that big on it, and I'll admit it's probably still of the three big Mario games, it's probably still the one that I'm looking forward to the least, but it still looks fantastic. There was this. Now I don't know much about the Rabbids series, but from what I can tell, we have Bowser Jr. as the primary antagonist here, and Bowser's on vacation, which reminds me of Mario Sunshine. And now Mario Sunshine has its flaws, but I don't think the premise is one of them. The Mario Sunshine's premise was really good. The stuff that brought Sunshine down was more, some of the levels were a little poorly designed. There's certain ones that I'm thinking of here, but as far as the premise of Sunshine, it was fantastic. And Mario and Rabbids seems to be taking a little bit of cues from that, of course, with the instead of being on a tropical island, instead they have the Rabbids invading the Mushroom Kingdom. But we have Bowser Jr. taking the main antagonist role instead of Bowser. Well, I'm pretty sure Bowser's going to come in at some point. But I'm hoping that for once we might get a final boss that's not Bowser. I'm not getting my hopes too far up for that, but we might. If not, we still have the Superstar Saga remake, and they're not going to change the story of that. So I just think the Mario series is coming into a new golden age, most likely. At least I really hope it is. Anyway, Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions, not only are they like remastering the original game, but they're also putting in a new side story with Bowser's Minions. They're searching for him. There's a whole new gameplay style where you're managing the minions and having them fight the creatures of the Bean Bean Kingdom, and apparently any enemy that's not dead at the end of the battle, you recruit them and they're on your side now. And another thing about this is that it supports Amiibo. Now, this is one thing that immediately came to mind when they were doing the presentation, the Treehouse presentation, and towards the end they said, "We have one more surprise for you." And I was thinking, wait a minute, the last few presentations when they said exactly that, they immediately pulled out Amiibo, so I'm like, okay, they're gonna pull out Amiibo for this. And I bet you could tell what went through my mind, and I was a little disappointed when it was just a Goomba and a Koopa. But, you know, this has potential. I'm really hoping they kind of unveil, like, the Cackletta and the Fawful and the Prince Peasley or the Popple. Though any of those characters that are like unique to that game, or at least made their debut in Superstar Saga, kind of hoping those guys get Amiibo, but, you know, I know how Nintendo is with that, but I'm still kind of hoping, you know. Oh, one thing that I wanted to say earlier with the Mario and Rabbids, and it just slipped my mind, is that there was one of the recent trailers had this opera Rabbid who was singing this really funny opera thing that was kind of parodying or making fun of the general Mario. I think the last line was, "Your princess is in another castle." I just thought that was really great, and as someone who hasn't really been into the Rabbids games, I think there's gonna be some pretty creative bosses in this. Not gonna lie. I'm a little iffy on that general gameplay style though. I don't think I've played a game with that style before. And that's also kind of carries over into the side mode on Superstar Saga Bowser's Minions, where you have a bunch of different characters. I don't know how good I am going to be at that, because as far as turn-based styles go, the only ones I'm really used to are the ones in Mario & Luigi, Paper Mario, a little bit of Mario RPG, Super Mario RPG. I still haven't beat that game, but I've played a little bit of it, and I know the story and whatnot. But yeah, the general where good guys take separate turns, each character gets a separate turn, and you manage things that way. Even in the case of like Sticker Star and Color Splash, you still have like, you don't have 15 billion characters that are all having a turn at once. So I just don't know how I'm gonna manage that. I mean, I don't know all these gameplay mechanics yet, so maybe I'll learn, but, you know, I just, a little iffy on that. But as far as premise, as far as story and locations and whatnot, I really think Mario is entering a new golden age, and with Odyssey, the gameplay too. Like, Odyssey is bringing back so much that we've missed since 3D Land, some things we've missed since Sunshine or 64. Well, yeah, because with when you're collecting stars instead of going to flagpoles, we haven't seen that since Galaxy 2. And being able to go after them in any order and having so many in each world and having an open area that's not linear, we haven't seen that since Sunshine. Some aspects since 64, because even Sunshine, I think, had, if you select a certain mission, the other ones will be either restricted, or you would need glitches to get them or something. But another thing I really like, well, in some aspects I like it. I think it might be a little disappointing sometimes, but with Odyssey, since there's not really missions, there's just, you find your moons, you go places and you discover moons, you get them, you move on. you don't get kicked out of the level when you get the moon, and that could be really convenient when you're like speed running and whatnot, trying to just get right into the next thing without any wait time, any load time. But on the other hand, I'm a little worried that it just might not feel the same as like Mario 64, because, well, whenever I get a star in Mario 64, you leave the level. The exception is the 100 coin star, but normally you would leave the level and come back and get to play through it again to get to do the next mission, and that added to the fun. You're playing through the levels in different ways, and you'll probably still be doing a lot of that in Odyssey, because I don't think there's going to be every single moon right next to each other. But I also would like to, you know, sometimes maybe just start at the same place every time, go in a different direction, you know. I only have 2 Switch games so far, and the first one I got was Zelda Breath of the Wild, which, maybe it's just because I didn't grow up with that series like I did Mario, but I couldn't really get into that game. That's not saying it's bad at all. I'm so happy for all the people that love it, and I understand why people think it's one of the best games of all time. I just don't have the experience with the series to appreciate the stuff in it, you know? So, but I did get it so I could try it, and it wasn't really my thing, but, and then the other game I got was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I've been having a blast with that. I'm really enthusiastic about this next, the Switch era for Mario. And the remaining 3DS games I'm counting with that instead of the Wii U era, because the Wii U is pretty much dead now. And the Switch is fantastic. And like I said, I only have but 2 games for it now, but I'm definitely getting Mario Odyssey. I'm probably gonna pick up Mario plus Rabbids at some point. Maybe not right when it releases, but at some point. And of course, 100%, no doubt about it, I'm getting Superstar Saga on 3DS. That's like, Superstar Saga is like my second favorite game of all time, tied with Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. And of course, my first favorite is actually kind of controversial. It's Super Paper Mario. But I am a big story buff for Mario games, so... Oh, speaking of Super Paper Mario, Super Mario Odyssey has shown me even more stuff that looks like it could be a reference to that, as well as the Thousand Year Door. You know how we have all this stuff suggesting that we're gonna go to the moon in Mario Odyssey? You know what other game had you going to the moon? Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. I wonder if we get to see a reference to the X-Nauts. Be fantastic. And of course, the Super Paper Mario thing, obviously Peach and Bowser getting married. Now, I have a slight worry about that. I hope that either Mario intervenes before vows could be made, or something happens to prevent that. Otherwise, because I know they're not going to have an apocalypse happen when the vows are made. And that would kind of be a retcon of Super Paper Mario, and I don't want Super Paper Mario retcon. That game was so good! I don't know. But there are things that remind me of it, even besides that, such as the Cap Kingdom. It's all black and white, with top hats. Sound familiar? Well, black. But, you know, I think any hope for a 100% definite reference to a Paper Mario before Sticker Star in anything nowadays is just not likely at all. The only hope I really have is in Superstar Saga remake on the 3DS, because if you recall in the original game, there's a room in the Woohoo University with a bunch of question mark blocks, and they all have different designs from different Mario games. One of them was Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64, and I'm really hoping they keep that. I mean, I would understand if they added some from newer games, but I hope they keep the Paper Mario 64, or at least have one from Thousand Year Door or something. I hope they don't completely replace it with either something from Sticker Star or Color Splash, or just no Paper Mario at all. Because at this point in time, a reference to anything Paper Mario before Sticker Star is just so rare. You hardly ever see it except in Smash Brothers, and Smash Brothers references everything, so I don't think that's a huge deal. But yeah, I think I'm kind of rambling on at this point, so I think I'm gonna call it here. If you like this video, be sure to leave it a like, and I will try to be a little more active, but I don't know. But anyway, I did make a new intro, which I'm probably going to be applying to this video, so yeah. You probably already saw it then, but yeah. Anyway, peace out guys, and I'll see you later.